Have you ever wondered how some people buy one land and a few years later, everyone calls them lucky? It is actually knowing what to look out for when buying a property. Now, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you three ways to identify good property investment before you buy. So, the first way to do this is to look out for infrastructure leading to the location. So, whenever you want to buy any property, there are some critical things that you need to give attention to. So you're talking about infrastructures, and these infrastructures, I'm talking about things like road construction, bridges, flyovers, hospitals, and even schools. Now, these kind of infrastructures help to show if a property is going to be what is going to be valuable even in the future. So when you want to buy land, you need to look out for places that have good accessibility, where it is very easy to get to the property, that has a very good road construction. And when you see things like government projects, or maybe flyovers, or maybe school coming into a particular location, you know that the value of that property is going to increase exponentially because of these infrastructures. Because over time, infrastructures have been proven as one of the factors that contribute enormously to the value of land. So take for instance someone buying a property where there's no any infrastructure, and someone who bought a land where there's a massive infrastructure. Over the years, which of them do you think that will increase in value? It is the one that has more infrastructures, especially when it is very accessible to get to that property. So if you are looking to own a property in any state in Nigeria, especially right here in the state of Enugu, you need to look out for infrastructures that are leading to the property that you want to buy, because in the future, those infrastructures, as they keep approaching that property, the value of your property will keep increasing in value. Number two way is to follow growth, not popularity. So one of the mistakes that most people make, especially first-time buyer, is that they just want to buy property because every person is buying in a particular location, because that place is very popular, everyone is talking about it, and they just want to buy into some location. But the mistake they make is that they don't take out time to study growth pattern. They don't take out time to study development trend in a particular location. So one of the things that you need to do whenever you want to buy a property, especially if you're a first-time buyer, or even if you're an experienced investor and you desire to make massive return from your investment, you need to study growth pattern. Look out for where the growth is heading to, and then you can invest into that location. I remember earlier I talked about infrastructures. One of the things that signify a growth in a particular location is the level of infrastructures that is coming up in such location. So when you see things like road construction, when you see government awarding a project in a particular location, or when you see schools or maybe housing projects coming up in a particular location, just know that that place is marked for massive development because of the growth trend. And as an investor, if you see this kind of opportunity, you need to invest immediately, because the earlier you invest into such location, the more return on your investment you are going to make. Because if you happen to be one of those that invested earlier in such location, as development keep happening in such location, the value of the property that you bought will keep appreciating, and that's how you make massive return for your investment. So follow growth trend and not popularity. Now, the final way to identify good property investment is to buy where the demand is heading to. Now, this is what smart investors and experienced investors understand. They know that whenever the demand of a property is very high in a particular location, there's high tendency that the value of that property is going to give them high return on their investment. It simply means the property is a good investment. So when you want to buy a property and you see developers moving to a particular location and the demand in that location is very high, it is a sign that the value of that property, such location, is going to increase massively. And once you see this kind of sign, you need to invest immediately, because the longer you wait, the more the value of that property will keep increasing, and the more expensive that property is going to become. And one of the ways to identify this kind of demand is when you see people maybe investing in an emerging location. Maybe there are some few structures coming up in that location, and investors and also developers are buying multiple plots of land in such location. It simply means there's something they know about that location that you are not aware of. And when you see demand is very high in a certain location, you just need to key into such location so that you can get to enjoy the future appreciation that will be coming up in some location. Now, one of the important questions that you need to ask yourself when you want to invest in a particular location is to ask, will more people be able to invest or live in this location in the next 5 to 10 years? And if your answer is yes, just go ahead and then buy properties of location, because you know the more people are coming into that location, the more there will be demand for properties. I know the higher demand of a property, the higher the value. So you can just queue in as early as possible so that you can get to enjoy the future acquisition that will be happening in such location. Now, there's something that smart investors understand, that an average investor is not really aware, especially first-time buyers. So they know how to identify these signs of growth. They know how to identify a place that is high demand. They know how to spot development heading to a particular location by checking out the infrastructures, and they know how to identify growth patterns. And if you're an investor looking to own property right here in the city of Enugu, and you are looking for locations where you can put your money and you are sure that you will get good return on your investment in the future. I mean, you want to buy properties, strategic locations right here in the city of Enugu, where your money will give you high return. All you need is just to reach out on the number showing on your screen, and I will help you and will guide you so that you can be able to make a secure and profitable real estate investment right here in the city of Enugu. My name is Obaleke Emmanuel. I'm a real estate consultant. I help smart individuals like you make secure and profitable real estate investments. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and then follow along for more. See you in the next one.